And dragons. And dragons. Dom. Dragons. Dom.
Oh my god. Hello and welcome to Dom and Dragons, the podcast where Helpful Goat Gaming plays Dungeons and Dragons with Dominic, Monaghan. Tonight, I'm Andrew Gilbert. I'm usually Andrew Gilbert, but tonight, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master. And I'm not alone. With me, as always, is the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat, Galway, playing the Turtle Druid Macaque Tumbledown.
Hey, everybody.
Lena, playing the Azamar Warlock Elif Fire.
Hi.
Adam, playing the Bugbarian Connie Demure.
Hi, everyone. When I'm on my phone tonight, it's me on Twitch. I'm not just like messaging and stuff. Okay?
Sure.
When I'm on my phone tonight, I'm probably playing Pokemon Go.
And of course, Dominic Monaghan playing the Halfling Monk Cryon Fane.
What's up, friends? Just a little representation. Because, Manchester United need more press,
Yeah, it's a very obscure club. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Can they see us, Galway?
Right. Presumably.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay, let me put it this way. Stream preview says they can see us. Can y'all see us?
Can y'all see us?
No, on Twitch if you can see us.
Yeah.
Dr. Mom
hey,
PhD
we're live
says they're
here.
waving back.
You can actually see us in our faces if you join the live stream. And if you're listening to this podcast, come on over to the live stream. Good times there. That's at twitch.tv/helpfulgoat for the foreseeable future, every Wednesday at 9 Eastern time and 6 Pacific. And we're on Twitch, and we're affiliate, which means you're able to cheer and subscribe to us. And anyone who has Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free through Twitch Prime. Also, feel free to ask questions in the chat. We're playing a game, so we can't always have an eyeball on that, but we have plenty of really fun people in the chat who can answer a lot of your questions or can lead you in the right direction.
So can I interject a little thing here?
Please. Oh yeah.
I'm playing. I've been telling these guys this for a while. I'm playing a very clunky MacBook Pro. It's like a 2012. Unfortunately, if I open up Roll20 and Discord and my character sheet and Twitch, it just does not like me. My computer gets really hot. So I can't open up Twitch. So if you guys have a burning question and we have time and you want to throw it to the guys, maybe the other guys who are on Twitch might be able to throw it my way. But unfortunately, not on Twitch at the moment. This time next week, fingers crossed.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. All right. And a couple thank yous specifically to Sam Winnie, who wrote the theme song Beasts of Burden and our sort of ending song of session 5. Do we have a name for that? I'm sure we do for the song.
The Myriad?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Oh, I thought it was called Weird Mountain Shit.
Yeah, maybe
Siege
Weird
Santa
Mountain.
theme?
What is it?
Siege
Santa theme.
Santa theme? Okay. I love it. And to Monty at Miraculous Monty on Twitter for the amazing character art. Oh my gosh, they're the best. Yeah. Just it's so great. And also we've honestly been playing a lot of games lately just with our Discord. So if you type in !Discord in the chat, you'll get a link to be able to join that. And it's almost daily where we're asking fans in the Discord to play with us and having a good time that way. So if that's something you might be interested in doing or just want some human connection, because we talked, about all kinds of, we had a dating sim conversation on there not too long ago. Whatever. It's a really good time.
Today we had a conversation about alternate terms for casual sex.
Yeah.
Boffing, boning.
Sloughing is pretty
Unless
good.
we're trying to come up with ones that don't have like any stigma attached to them. It's really challenging. People stigmatize this stuff
the beast
so much.
with two backs. You know?
It's a solid one. Can't go wrong with
Shagging, obviously, you guys know shagging.
Yeah.
Very well.
You're looking for a positive phrase for sex that doesn't have any weird
strings attached kind of thing.
Specifically for casual sex, because Lena was reading like a study or something that was referring to it as promiscuous sex, which seemed like judgment laden.
That's very judgment laden. Yeah, I think shagging in England is deemed to be a little casual. Obviously, there's making love, but shagging is just like, oh yeah, you fancy a shag type thing. That's very.
Yeah. I like making love, but with no strings attached. You know what I mean?
Making like?
Making like, yeah.
Oh,
no,
that's good.
Anyway, this this is the sort of stuff we talk about on our Discord. So if this is at all interesting, which I love it, join us there. Yeah.
That's great. I love those weird conversations.
No, it's so awesome.
You know, I had this conversation. Well, I've been having this conversation for years with people, which makes no sense, but it's just an interesting thing to talk about. What if? Hang on, let me get this right. What if writers were just books written by better writers? So what if C.S. Lewis, his entire existence and his entire back catalogue was just another piece of work written by J.R.R. Tolkien? What if writers were just books written by better writers?
So like...
That's what I mean, you guys. You can't answer that question.
Yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien was made up by Homer, I'm pretty sure. So
right. Like,
yeah.
What if these people are just filtering down? They're like, oh, we need a slightly kiddie version of Lord of the Rings. I'll create J.K. Rowling. I'll create the whole experience. I'll create Harry Potter because you need an author. But it's really written by the ultimate writer up here, you know. Anyway,
who wrote Dan Brown then?
I did.
Andy wrote Dan Brown.
Yeah. Sorry about that one.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'll do better next time. Nah, Dan Brown's great. I'm sure he's fine.
I like the Da Vinci Code, but the movie was like, oh, what?
I like Angels and Demons more than I like the Da Vinci Code. But this is neither here nor there, because we are here to play goddamn Dungeons and Dragons.
We are really bleeding out the intro time here.
I love it.
Yes.
It's a good time. All right. Galway, do you have any added people recently that you have handy that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have a few more followers on the Twitch. Alicat13, hey Carls, thank you Tippy Taboo for the 100 bits, and Jew Johnston just followed us. So nice. We really appreciate all the follows. We appreciate any of the support. Thank you so much. Helps us do more of this, and we love doing this.
Beautiful. Excellent. All right. Well then, I think without further ado, we jump into tonight's game of Dom and Dragons. Welcome back to Burden, a muddy spot under the boot of the Goholian army. If you have a sword, you best know when to draw it. If you have money, you've already left. And if there's someone you trust in this forgotten place, you hold on to them. We're all just trying to make it here, and maybe we ain't looking too close about what you gotta do to be good in a place like Burden. Last time on Dom and Dragons. As the town, now quite literally in the shadow of a looming fortress, discusses the next steps, the beasts of Burden, our adventurers, retreat to Cryon's room to discuss what should be done privately. Setting on maybe not abandoning the town and running away with all of the townsfolk, perhaps it looks more advantageous to try to bring the thing down itself. Maybe even turning the tide of the war. As they discuss this, it appears at the moment, and tell me again, we'll jump into if any of this is wrong, that's fine. It appears that Cryon and Kalia were thinking of maybe going to look for a few Griffons just outside of town. And that Elif and Rose wanted to obtain some alchemist's fire that Rose had stored under the town many years before. Makek and Connie are still figuring out how they're going to help. And as all of this was starting to become solidified, you discovered a couple drow spies listening at the door. A quick chase ensued, and luckily the beasts were able to capture them. Now, after an hour of interrogation, the only response you've been able to get out of these spies is the phrase, "I am Gohonia's riddle." You've noticed that the mountain has stopped advancing toward the town for now. And though the sky has grown overcast, you can still tell it's there. And yet the people of Burden still await some plan of action from the local folk heroes. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is it you would like to do?
Andy, the first thing that Connie would have done as part of the interrogation of those drow spies,
Sure.
he would have definitely kind of tried the strategy of going from one to the other and saying, so you say you're Gohonia's riddle, but got news for you. The other guy says he's Gohonia's riddle. So what do you say to that?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
All right, and Connie goes from that guy to the other guy.
Yeah.
All right, now what did you say you were?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Aha! The other guy says he's Gohonia's riddle. So what do you say to that?
And so on and so forth for the next half hour you do this.
Have we separated them? Are they in the same place?
Yeah.
I think we should certainly separate them. Can we
Absolutely.
separate them?
You've tried a bunch of things, and so far that's all you can get out of them. But if you want to do something more creative or more extreme, please.
More creative than Connie's idea? Come on.
Such a creative idea.
I mean, I think we should probably at least experiment with physical violence.
I think we should at least experiment.
I mean, let's float that boat out there. That seems to be effective in some negotiations. Does anyone have like a high ability to punch someone in the face? Would that be Connie more than anyone else, maybe?
You probably would be the best at that. But Connie certainly can punch, yeah.
I will say this, after a half hour of them just continuously saying, I am Gohonia's secret, Connie's definitely going to punch both of them at least once, really, really hard.
Didn't they specify that they're Gohonia's riddle?
Yes.
What did I say?
Secret.
You're drunk. Connie's drunk. He's been drinking.
Connie has been drinking.
Interrogation.
Yeah. If the punching starts, Kalia would kind of step outside, and she even kind of looks at you, Cryon, and maybe just shakes her head a little. Steps out the door.
That's shaming me.
That's not Kalia judging Cryon. That's Andy judging Dom.
No. It's not Andy judging.
Judgment. I didn't lay a finger on him.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so they're Gohonians. I mean, God.
Like something has gotten a little seemed a little odd to you, and that is they've literally only said those words and literally only said them in that order.
They've been brainwashed, you guys. They've been brainwashed.
Could I do a medical a medical check on them to see if they had, I don't know, seemed like they had any major injuries, if they showed any signs of like being hypnotized or anything like that?
Anal probe.
Besides the injuries that were sustained from you guys, there's not much else. They are both at 1 hit point. Metagame.
Can I do an investigation check for any kind of attachments or something in their hair or in their ears or something like that?
Sure, yeah, give me an investigation check too.
Yeah.
And Connie, did you swing your pike at one of them?
No, I just punched one of them.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Investigation.
Oh dear, we've reversed a trend. At 2.
Oh no.
I'm sorry,
right.
guys.
You're good.
We should take a break, Andy. We should take a break.
Already, yeah.
Reset the clock. It's been too long.
Cryon, yeah, you're feeling the pressure. You know the town is like in the main part of this tavern waiting to hear from you guys. Kalia kind of gave you a dirty look. You really want to know what's going on, and you want to be safe, and you want to figure out what's best for everyone. And your head's just not quite in it as you're looking through and searching them. You don't think there's anything on them, but
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
McKeck's gonna sort of look at them. If you're the riddle, are you meant to be answered?
Oh.
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Does anybody like you, Turtle Man? Do you know how to do read mind reading? Can you read minds? Can you read minds? I can't because I'm not a preparation caster, but maybe you can.
I cannot read minds. Are you a riddle from Goholnia or a riddle for Goholnia? The syntax is a little unclear.
I am Goholnia's riddle.
All right, and this is where Connie punches him.
Okay, but now I have a question. If that's the way they acted,
yeah,
does it seem like he listened to me and thought about it and was trying to give an answer, and instead what came out was I am Goholnia's riddle?
Right, or is it like Pavlovian? It just kind of comes out.
Give me an insight check.
So it's not an anagram.
9, not 19. Sorry.
It's hard to say. It seems like they're having different emotions, and the tone of voice seems to change. This is a little bit of a I am Groot situation.
Yeah. So it seems like something is happening where it's.
We're having trouble reading what that is.
Yeah, but like
you guys. Do you think this is the riddle? Is this what we're supposed to be solving? Is this the riddle? Them?
Elif, what the hell are you talking about?
No, she might be onto something here.
Yeah, I might be onto something, Connie. Ha ha. Fuck you.
It's not an anagram. It's not an anagram for something. I am Cohonian's riddle. If they are Cohonian's riddle, then we have to solve them. We have to ask a different question. Maybe
they're sort of tied up, right? I'm assuming they're sort of tied and bound.
Sure. Yeah. However,
to keep secure.
Not gagged, obviously.
Can you tap your foot once for yes, twice for no?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Did the dialect change?
They're slight French accents.
I was like, accent?
It wanders.
Okay.
It's become Provençal.
What if Cryon asks, what is Cohonian's riddle?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
Jesus Christus. It's a conundrum, you guys. I thought I was onto something there. I am Cohonian's riddle.
Did someone do this to you?
I am Gohonia's riddle.
What, I mean...
We didn't see them say anything prior to us catching them, correct?
No, as soon as you opened the door, pretty quickly they bolted in different directions.
And we didn't hear them call anything like during the chase or
right.
One of the two of them, the one that I was chasing, turned into a hawk, I remember. Looking over his stuff, I think they were both men. I don't remember.
Yes. Yeah.
Do I see anything that I might recognize as a druidic focus? Or any... Because, like, that's a thing that McKeck knows as a possibility. But... Right.
Yeah, in fact, one of the things that Cryon found and put kind of aside, because he wasn't sure what it was, is kind of a little ringlet of, like, moss and vine. And it looks like it could be worn as a kind of a bracelet even, perhaps. That might be a druidic focus, you could see.
Could I investigate that more?
Yeah, give me maybe an Arcana check.
Ooh, what's Arcana, like dark magic?
I miss guidance.
Yeah, some.
Isn't it just magic in general?
Yeah, kind of a magic
9.
in general. 9.
Yeah.
You think it's possible? Certainly, yeah.
Do I think it is itself magical, or
You don't feel that, and both of them have one. Yeah.
okay?
Hey, I can look at it too. I'm really good at looking at magic things.
Yeah, I think this could be a druidic focus. I'm not sure though.
I mean, if they both have one, we could do it. Sorry, this is Cran. So if they both have one, we could do a trial and error where maybe we manipulate or destroy a bracelet and see if that changes anything for one of them.
Possible. I'd like to know a little bit more about it first. Do you see anything, Elif?
I guess I want to look at the bracelet and try to see things about it.
Arcana.
Do you have
yeah.
our guidance? I forget.
I don't think so.
Oh, I do. Can I have cast guidance?
Sure, give me a D4 then too.
9.
Nice.
This is great. We're so good at rolling tonight.
Yeah, you again. Yeah, you feel it could be a focus. You're not super familiar with druids, like
I've
Makek
rolled a
is.
9 twice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to tell. But
On a different level, and I think probably a different check, do I recognize the herbs and the rest that it's made out of?
yeah, give me a nature check then.
I have rolled 3 9s.
You can tell it's somewhat of a rare sort of small thin vine that would require a bit of need to procure, but again, yeah, you think it's certainly possible. You don't have much to go on.
Is it something from this area, or is it?
With a 9, it feels a little foreign to you, so probably not from this area, but you don't know where.
Okay.
Can I do a check to see if it has any like meaning that I can figure out based on like, I don't know, things I've heard of and seen in the past?
Yeah, history perhaps.
These are just like bracelets that they think are funny, and we're just getting obsessed with them.
9.
These rolls.
What the fuck?
All of our rolls so far have been below 10.
Yeah.
Except for your one-handed pike.
Except for my punch.
yeah.
My punch is the only thing that's been effective.
A 9 makes it's hard to tell exactly. You've never exactly heard of anything like this. Again, yeah, you're just basically at the point where you think it's possible, but you can't tell much more than that. I mean, the most evidence you have for them being druids is one of them turned into an animal, but there are theoretically other ways for that to happen too.
We didn't find anything on them when we searched them, any like notes or anything.
No, specifically, they don't seem to be traveling very far, meaning they didn't have anything else on them.
They didn't have
no
packs
rations, no packs.
Excuse me. Aside from them,
They're not from this town, right? We don't recognize them?
None of you recognize them now. No.
aside from them saying the same phrase over and over again, do they seem like outside of that they're in a trance, or are they normal and they can only just say one?
Yeah, good question. Give me an insight check. See how Cryon feels about
Someone has to roll something.
Come on, double digits. Not asking for a lot here.
Roll.
No, double digits. Not asking for a lot here.
Yeah, with a 10, you can tell they don't seem to be in a trance. That becomes pretty obvious to you. They seem to be with it. They're locking eyes with you. They're almost answering in a tone of voice that seems like it conveys meaning. Just the words are exactly the same. Yeah, and at this point, yeah, you're having a hard time thinking you're going to get much else out of them.
Connie has lost patience for all of this. He would suggest just dragging them to the Burden jail and just throwing them into the cell for now. But I would also like to suggest, as Adam, I would like maybe to see what would happen if Connie happens to drag one or both of these guys past the goblin who was called Can of Worms.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about, because Connie's not an idiot. And the fact that the goblin seems to know something about the mountain that he's been saying since we first met him, like that line about, if you're up there, and this is my Andy impression, oh, if you're up there, where are the birds going to be? Or something like that.
Sounds exactly like it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so what would happen if the goblin got a chance to kind of be all weird and peer into these drow guys' eyes and say one of his weird lines to them?
Sure. Yeah, you start to kind of drag him to the jail. Rose is there with a few kind of armed friends of hers, so she can escort them if you want. But you sort of drag them past Can of Worms, and the wolves just like go right up to this person and Can of Worms and says, you're up there. You shouldn't be.
He's saying that to the drow?
Yeah.
Connie's gonna be like, hey, could you elaborate on that in maybe like a sane way?
The birds are supposed to be up there in the sky.
All right, you know what? Never mind.
Not the mountains.
Never mind.
I mean, he's right. He's like totally right. That was super sane.
I'm fucking right.
Are you saying?
Right.
Are you saying that they're from the mountain?
Yes, you smell it. You could smell it on them.
Elif's gonna lean in and sniff them.
Give me a perception check.
There it is, finally. Jesus
22.
Christ.
Now that he's pointed this out, Elif, you get that almost sort of ozone smell, that smell like just after a rain.
Petrichor.
Ooh. You get a petrichor. I think I'm saying that.
The smell of the earth before and after the rain.
Yeah, you get sort of that sense, that kind of smell in it, and it feels a little foreign to you because all the sort of rain smell that you smell is just sort of mud and dirt and the dirt of this city and its people. This does smell fresher and cleaner a bit, but yeah.
Oh my god, y'all, they smell really weird. They smell super weird. Like clean rain. We don't have that here, right? Like never.
I haven't tasted clean rain since the night Vern and I met. Wait, did I say that out loud? Come on, let's get that drow. I'm dragging you to the jail.
Okay, then.
All right, yeah. Rose says that she can take him for you. That's fine. So she just kind of stops you then and says, look, the people need to know what you're doing. Are we evacuating or are we trying to fight this thing? Please.
Hey, Rose, now seems like a really great time to have a conversation with you because I really want to talk to you really quick again. I know we tried to talk last episode and the episode before, and you're just being really cryptic, all the time, super cryptic. Anyway, my question is, what have you been doing, and what is this big deal that you've been doing, and does it maybe relate to this? And even if you don't think it does, it probably does. I bet it does. So, what have you been doing for the last 7 years? What's up? Stop being cryptic.
Breathe, child. Walk with me to the jail. Sure. Let's deliver the prisoner.
Have another espresso. Just calm down. Relax. Take your Ritalin. Relax.
So Elif then and Rose will go off escorting the prisoners to the jail. Then what are the rest of you doing?
This is tough, you guys, because I don't think, unless we crack the code and break these draw to actually tell us something that we know, we're kind of wasting our time. They're just kind of holding us up from what we actually want to do. I don't think they have the secret to whole mountain experience, right? We were hoping to get a little bit of information out of them, but like, what did they really know? They're just privates in the army, right? I mean,
Also, were they wearing any kind of uniform or anything?
No, specifically not the red and white of Gohulnian army uniforms.
But like they weren't dressed identically or anything that would suggest a uniform.
In fact, they were probably dressed in more rags and dirty clothing to seemingly fit into the town. Is maybe what you'd guess.
I mean, I like Connie's idea of like, if we're not getting anywhere with these guys, let's stick them in a cell and we'll put a pin in that thing until later type thing.
Sure.
Because does anyone know how to get these guys to say anything about? It's not an anagram, right? It's not an anagram. It's way too specific, that thing.
Yeah, no, and frankly, knowing Andy, I'm reasonably sure that we're not supposed to figure this out.
Oh, okay. All right. You've played this game before.
One of the many mysteries, perhaps.
Yeah.
Guys, can I just slightly go like left of field here and tell you my favorite anagram? This is for everyone listening to the thing. All right, listen, this is an anagram. You might have heard it before, maybe not. If you've not heard it before, it's mind-blowing. Here we go. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. That is an anagram.
That's a classic. Wait, is it an anagram? Wait,
It's an anagram.
Is it a palindrome?
Palindrome.
Oh, wait, that's what I meant.
Yeah, palindrome.
I was getting the two confused there too.
Yeah, a palindrome.
Here's the thing: every palindrome is an anagram, but not every anagram is a palindrome.
Heyo.
Wait,
That's
no.
God, we're breaking.
Okay.
I just like Adam's hand gently waving, like no.
no. I feel bad. No, I was just
scrub it down. Scrub it
It's
down.
a palindrome. I ruined it. It's not an anagram. Yeah, that's not an anagram, right? I am the Cohonian riddle. That's way too specific.
Well, like there could be an anagram of it,
but it won't be
But
helpful.
at that level of like entropy of that many characters, that would be rough.
Yeah.
Especially if
Okay.
we didn't have a key we were trying to solve for. Like if we had a word for it, then you could probably sort the rest. But so I would say that McKeck would probably be going and. Last we've sort of discussed there are griffins, which might be a way to get up there. We know that the giant elk are tied to this rock. So it seems like it probably doesn't fly, as in move on its own. It just hovers. And we had discussed that Elif is getting lots of explosives, which is making her very happy. And that I might be trying to sort of concoct any oils or anything else that I know of that could help fire and explosions spread.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of our separate little paths toward that figuring out the mountain and taking down the mountain, perhaps. And Kalia even sort of suggests, like, I don't mind going with Cryon. I can show him where the Griffons were. I can bring back the rest. And he said he wanted to do maybe a lap around and see if he saw anything.
So are we pretty sure that they're not going to just shoot down a Griffin?
Who cares if they do?
It is
Not
overcast.
there, but I have invisibility, so I can make one creature invisible. So pick which griffin you love the most, and pick which person you like the least, and we'll pair those together, and we'll be good.
I feel like, knowledge is power, right? Any kind of garnering of information, a reconnaissance of sort. I mean, if it is Cryon or whoever that does it, if they fly close enough and garner any type of information, because at this point where we're at is a little bit of a dead end, right?
It is kind of an overcast night, or it's like afternoon at this point. You could probably get pretty close and have a decent amount of cover, especially from the mountain itself.
I like it. I like it.
I'm not trying to steer you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like.
I'd be into that. I'm the lightest of the group, right? And I have pretty good. What would that be? Would that be insight to check to see something from a distance? And
Perception to like look around. Probably animal handling to make sure you can move the griffin around. But
what is my perception? Oh, it's a 2. It's not fantastic.
that's decent.
My animal handling is a 2. What are you guys going to do when I do that? I mean, it's none of my business. Do what I want.
And McKeck, you could probably get those oils around pretty quickly if you wanted to like go with Kalia and Cryon or Elif and Rose. You probably could still do that in the amount of time.
You know what, guys? I think I'd be happy to escort my new friend Elif on her part of this little mission that we're on. I care about Burden and I care about Wigmoles, but mostly I just care about staying with Elif here.
You got a little mix in there. you bled a little mix in.
Insight 13. I just want to see how genuine he's being about caring about Burden and Wigmoles.
I would say I'm not lying. Connie does care about
But are
Burden.
you being genuine?
He does care about Burden. He does care about Wigmoles because he hates Gahonia. But more than any of that, he cares about sticking with Elif and not letting you out of his sight. That's all true.
Like you would totally normally be welcome, Connie, because we're buddies now, right? We're like super tight, so tight.
Tight like this.
But yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, this is like a private conversation between Rose and me, catching up because we haven't seen each other in like 10 years, 7 years. You understand, like, right? You want to catch up with people sometimes, so we're just gonna catch up, okay?
Does Connie have any kind of history with Rosie?
I mean,
no, not. I mean, yes, in that Rose was sort of a leader of kind of a local gang, but Rose is also very out of the limelight and not the one to do anything specifically. So you don't have any personal connection to that person.
If Rosie's around during this interaction that Connie and Elif just had, does Rosie seem like she's kind of like vibing with Elif? Like, yeah, Connie, don't come with us.
It seems like that, yeah.
All right.
She does say, well, you can meet us up at the family estate, the street family estate, just north of here. That's underneath. This is where I hid the barrels.
Street family estate. All right. Now, what road do they live on?
I believe
Avenue Road.
Yeah, I believe it's Avenue, North Avenue.
Yeah.
The street family on North Avenue.
What was it? What was her maiden name? Thoroughfare.
I don't know. I don't get that. Okay. Anyway.
Bye.
Hey, you know, I get it. I understand having a coworker who you want to have private moments with. So you guys do that, and I'll figure out my own thing to do.
sounds great.
Connie will be tracking them. He'll be following them from a distance.
Okay. Sounds good. You can roll a stealth check. Also, you guys have completed a short rest. Even since the last fight, because you spent an hour at least trying to just interrogate these people. If there's any hit dice you want to do, or Crown, I believe you get back your key points.
What? So, as a noob, what does that mean? Any hit dice that you want to do? What does that mean?
Yeah. So during the short rest, you can roll hit dice. You have up to your level in hit dice, like 4 in this case, and it will allow you to regain hit points.
Oh,
for just
we don't just get them back automatically.
You would at a long rest.
Oh.
but right now you've only had time for a short rest.
So I just hit the hit dice button and it'll tell me?
Yeah, just kind of plan like I want to do 2 or something, and then roll 2 of those.
Although, as was pointed out to us last time, that is actually explicitly not rules as written.
Oh, is it?
You roll 1 and then decide if you want to keep rolling them, and you can continue making that. I don't know, because we both do that.
A rule? I wonder if that was like change because we started again playing 5e sort of with the playtest version of this, and so every once in a while there's like a rule that carries over from that. So so roll 1 at a time and keep going if you want.
So I rolled a 3, you guys, on a D8, which ended up becoming a 4. Like
that would put you up to 18 out of 25.
Average.
And you can't choose you can add them together. So if you wanted to roll another die, you would then just add the 4 and whatever you next rolled together.
Oh, so why wouldn't I roll it again?
They're an expendable
just a little slow to get back. So you'll get back 2, like after a long rest, 2 hit dice.
I'm gonna roll again.
And like currently, I have none, for example.
Okay, so we're all kind of hankering for a long rest at some point, right? So I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
Come on, 8.
A 9.
5. Okay, not bad.
So 9 total. That'll bring you to 23. So you're only 2 off of your max. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah. I
0 hit dice.
Nice.
I'm out of hit dice, and you don't get any hit dice back from a short rest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, how come you're out of hit dice, Adam?
Because at our last short rest, I spent hit dice to recover hit points.
Right, and then you kind of got a bit of a pounding in the last fight.
Yeah, but I would say that I also gave a pounding.
Oh, no, almost certainly.
Reciprocal poundings, one might say.
Reciprocal poundings, yeah.
Maybe
let's stop talking about Connie and Vern.
I was just going to say, maybe that's another term for casual, non-judgmental sex.
Hey,
reciprocal pounding.
Reciprocal pounding.
So academic.
I am going to point out strategically that I know we're like thinking of storming the mountain soon, tonight maybe, but strategically speaking, it might be good for you all to get a long rest. I'm fine. I can go for days.
I would deeply appreciate a long rest.
I was just thinking of doing the reconnaissance, coming back and maybe just sharing information with you guys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
With an ocarina.
I think that's a good idea.
The internationally approved gesture for ocarina. So, this is not squids on my face. This is ocarina.
What time would you need to gesture squids on my face?
Well,
when don't you?
Spain. They love calamari in Spain. It happens a lot, you know.
It reminds me of Fates of Rin, of Burbage's Mask of Many Faces.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, God.
Awesome.
That's like legitimately like one of my favorite things I have ever done in RPGs. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't listened to the podcast, but the Mask of Many Faces with Burbage was a lot of fun.
So yeah, I mean, like, I would love a long rest eventually, and also I like following Elif and Rosie is just like top level. Like, that seems like something Connie might do, but if somebody were to maybe give him an actual job, he might do it. And then also, like, do we think that a recon mission with Cryon and Kalia could we kind of, how long might that take? Could that be something that we just kind of slot in here rather? Because what I was thinking earlier was they do that while we approach with alchemy stuff at ground level.
But instead they could do that while we're getting the barrels and I'm talking to Rose.
But have Cryon return back with information before we launch an attack.
Otherwise, what would be the reason, you know?
For splitting the party so extravagantly, I don't know. But I'm drawn in that direction always. So it's best to be explicit about these things.
All right, great. Makek, did you want to kind of prepare some of the oils and then head out with Kalia and Cryon?
Yeah, I probably would, if nothing else, because it's another person to help with the Griffons.
Sure, solid. All right, you two kind of head out of town and start to go north. Elif and Rosie, why don't we then have our conversation here as you're walking then along with Elif? What is it you'd like to say?
So, like, no more cryptic shit, right? No more cryptic shit. Where the fuck were you for 7 years, and what's going on? You keep saying, like, it's this big, huge deal. Like, it's, like, bigger than Gahonia, bigger than the war, bigger than, like, the world almost. Like, it's as big as the world, right? Something huge was happening that you were involved in or are involved in or something, but you won't say what it was. What is it?
It's true, yes. Well, I have reason to believe that, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, gods themselves are pulling the strings of actions within this world. Specifically one whose name I keep hearing over and over, Behelit. I'm not exactly sure what all this means, but one of her servants, Borir, seems to be very, very intent on this war in particular. These are not good things. When gods start playing with the lives of people, this is never good.
No, this looks super hella bad. Super bad. You're right. So, like, do you know, like, intent on the war in what way? Like, what is he, she, them, what are they doing? What are they doing about the war? And also, how do we, like, get them out of it and not have them involved? Because this is really freaky.
The war continuing, the destruction of Wigmoles. Though, I did have someone bring up an interesting theory. Maybe the war is entirely a distraction from something else as well. I don't know. If we can end it, or slow it down, or turn the tide, or, God forbid, even make it go quicker, I don't know which of these would be best, but I think we should be very wary of these kinds of situations.
Yeah, like, hella for sure.
Also, your friend had mentioned a music box. Do you know anything about that?
Do you know anything about that?
Maybe.
What do you know?
You to worry about now.
Hey, Rose, like this whole thing, this whole town is now, like, my thing to worry about, right? Because you left for 7 years. 7 years, Rose, 7 years. You just left. So anything that might have anything to do with anything in this town is mine to worry about, and that has to do with this town. So what do you know about it?
It has nothing to do with this town. It is some little halfling far away.
Oh my God.
No,
God damn it.
Maybe it has to do with this town. It definitely, like, maybe does, because, like, they were talking about it here, right? What halfling?
God
Where?
damn it.
Some halfling named... Oh, what was his name?
Don't even say it.
Avery Kemp.
Ah.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's fine. Do you want to kick the prisoners before we put them in their cell?
No, like, I think maybe they could be, like, brainwashed or something. I kind of feel almost bad for them. And, you know, the prison might end up getting blown up with them inside of it, so that would suck for them. So we can just put them in the cell.
As you open the jails, Can of Worms comes in with his 2 wolves and then just goes to his cell, opens it up, comes back, and shuts it, and he kind of climbs up with his arms onto his cot and seemingly starts to fall asleep.
Okay, so, like, Rose, if you were me in this situation and Burden was your responsibility because you hadn't disappeared for 7 years without a trace and made everyone think you were dead, what would you do? What would you do in this situation?
As weird as it sounds, Burden is a special place, at least for those who are here. I would do what I could to protect it. And we've done that. We've captured, and she's looking around the jail now, many soldiers already. The town is essentially free. I'm just worried about how to deal with the new threat.
Yeah, like the new threat. That's like specifically what I'm asking you about, Rose. Not the soldiers. It's specifically the new threat.
I don't know. Fight until the last of us.
I mean, I can do that. I can blow shit up until we're all blown up. What a way to go, right? That's how I've always wanted to die.
You feel it though, don't you? Too. Burden is special.
It is. It's super special.
It shouldn't be. It's a muddy
Why?
spot in the middle of nowhere. It feels important. It feels like home. I don't know. I'm having a lot of feelings being back.
What do you think, like, makes it feel that way? Like, if you had to, like, close your eyes and point at something, what would it be?
She points south. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys, Crown's getting restless, so he's gonna he's gonna bounce. He's gonna be like, okay, Kalia. Okay, Kalia. I'll meet you at the Griffons. I'm gonna see if I can pick out a friendly one. And I think Crown just heads off. He's well rested. He feels good.
All right.
And he wants to maybe see. I think you had said, Andy, that there was 2 or 3 Griffons or 3 or 4 Griffons. I think he's hoping to see if one of them.
Yeah, she had seen like
More
2 or 3. Yeah. Yeah, and McKeck and Kalia are coming with you. Yeah, they don't mind roughing it. She'll show you where they were specifically.
He's just like me, Crime. He's allergic to waiting. He cannot do it. He's like, he gets hives when he's waiting.
And you grew up in a monastery?
With a lot of other students, yes. Cryon, McKeck, you two and Kalia are making your way kind of north. Kalia starts to kind of ask you though, Cryon, how is it that you came to Burden? What brought you here? Don't get me wrong, I'm entirely glad that you're here. I just wondered why one of my saviors even came to this spot.
Well, do you know why I left? Do you know why I left the monastery? I had to get as far from that. I had to get as far away from that place as possible. I was conducting my studies. I was doing the best I could throughout my daily rituals, and I started to see a few things that the abbot was doing to the locals to garner money that I did not agree with, bordering on criminal. When I approached him about this, he asked me to leave, which I did, and I wasn't aware that in leaving he was going to blame all of those crimes basically on me. So once I started to hear of those things happening, I got as far away as I could from the monastery. That's how I found myself in it.
It is hard to do the right thing sometimes when everything about it is sort of telling you to just stay and put your head down and look a different way. And then she kind of looks over at McKeck and gives you a nod as well.
It's hard to keep the faith when the person who represents God turns out to be a criminal and blames it on you. But this story behind it. Anyway, I don't want to get too upset about that because it might it might bristle the Griffin's feathers if we don't want that.
Very true. It is good to have a clean and healthy spirit going to them. And you, McKeck, I know I've left you alone for a few days. How's your spirit?
Our town is more on fire than usual.
It's true.
Not just because of Aleph.
I think I've only lit like one thing on fire, y'all. So, well, okay, and like that bush, but bushes don't count.
Why? They do.
Small things don't count.
Sort of like, and now wondering what to do about that. Pointing up at the mountain. I think it needs to be taken care of. I think this town needs someone to take care of it, but I'm worried about what it will mean to try to. I have a shop to run.
Yeah. Maybe this is asking a lot if you don't hurt the elk underneath it. I would personally enjoy that.
When we spoke, you said that they didn't enjoy pulling that mountain or being harnessed to it. I was hoping we would be able to detach them from it, and I was kind of hoping that they would, scatter.
Well, anything I can even do to help with that. But yes, if you free them, I could lead them away. I'm quite good at animals.
Yes, I think we're going to be trying to do that. If nothing else, the chaos of them not being able to move should sow some chaos and buy us an opportunity to do something else to the mountain.
Fair enough, yeah. You were the smart one of the family. So Cryon and McKeck, after about 20 minutes of plotting, you come to kind of the edge of a light, not quite dense, a light covering of trees. It is starting to get toward the end of the afternoon, maybe even barely into the twilight. The sun is low, it's casting that deep yellow across the land. And the trees actually, in the fall up here, are beautiful colors of purples and pinks and oranges. And you take a moment, and of course, this makes sense. There are griffins in these trees. And then you see a campfire.
I do not.
Now I fucking regret splitting the party. I hope you guys will all be okay.
And around the campfire...
Again, I do not see anything. I just see solid black. Okay.
We'll get you.
And the stream sees nothing. Oh, son of a bitch.
Near the Griffins, in the exact place where the Griffins were, type thing.
Yeah. So this is where Kalia is leading you and pointing. And then she kind of gets down when all of you see the firelight. A couple large tents have been set up, and she says, "It was right over here, right around here, in this small copse of trees." And if you want to, you could get a little closer. You don't see many people. You only see 3 or 4 people, kind of just sitting on logs around the campfire right now.
Is that one figure that looks like a knight someone that I recognize?
3 of them are in Gahonian garb. One of them is very specifically in that gold sort of fur collared garb of the Captain Heimlo.
Time for some outrageous Germanness.
Wait, I thought Rose captured all of them. Did some of them escape?
The captain that turned into a demon dog thing? Yes, ran away.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I don't know how. That's that captain?
It's that captain, yeah.
The one you chased.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, he was kind of a beast, right? He was a little bit of a tank.
You see a drow as well, sitting around the fire, and he sort of lifts up a chain and kind of shakes it, and you follow the line of the chain in, and you then see kind of emerging from the two tents between them a rather large griffin who seems to be chained up. And at this, Kalia puts a hand to her mouth, and she looks then kind of pleadingly at you, Makek and Cryon.
Hate this man / demon dog more than words can express.
So there's 3 of us. There's 4 of them and a griffin. Is that right?
Yeah. Give me a perception check if you're really kind of staring at these people. And
Okay.
if you want to get closer, that would make the check easier. Ooh.
19.
Oh, we're picking up the pace, you guys.
All right. Yeah, with the 19, Cryon, you're peering into this little circle. The captain, who you recognize from the town, the guy that turned into the nasty demon dog thing, looks really hurt and beat up. He's just kind of sipping soup. He's hunched over the fire. The others are kind of taking care of him a little bit. Seems like he's recovering. And honestly, since you guys came here so quickly, you might have caught him before he's recovered too much.
Okay. So, a compromised warrior. Makek, you're not really a warrior, right? You're more of a, what are you, you're a healer with a lot of defense, is that correct?
It's a little of both. Increasingly, I'm discovering that my gammy may have had good points with regard to killing people with fire when they piss you off.
Gotta love gammies.
And what about Kalia's ability in a fight? Is she in any ways skilled?
She specifically did not fight in the last one. So you would imagine if she was quite skilled at combat, she would have joined that right away. She's a little fragile. She seems to have really good attunement with animals, you've noticed. If that's helpful.
Does it seem like she might be able to help us vis-a-vis the griffin? Like, would she think that maybe she could persuade, Kalia, if we were to engage in combat, do you think you could get that nice griffin to murder the ever-loving hell out of all of the Goholnians, but not Cryon, and not me, and not you?
Oh, that's a little specific. I could talk to him, literally. And if he's feeling up to it, sure.
Can I ask a noob question here?
Hit me.
Since there might be a few noobs here wondering how this whole game consistently works. If you are asking a non-playing human character to do something, is that at the discretion of the dungeon master, or is that a dice roll? Do you decide what Kalia does and doesn't do?
Right, I've already written what she is able to do. And me and Galway had already talked about her personality generally and that sort of thing. So from that, it's kind of a pre-written thing. I kind of know how she'll react. Yeah.
I was going to say, in some characters, for example, if they weren't as... She regards us quite positively. 1, we saved her, and 2, she's generally in favor of fucking up the Goholnian shit. But for example, it might require a persuasion roll. Andy, like that would be fair of like, right. Yeah, I'm a little on the fence, I don't exactly know. Yeah, sure, if you roll well, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Right.
But with her, she's actually pretty inclined to help us. It's more a matter of what she can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she says, if you can get me close enough to talk, I maybe need to be 30 feet or so of him. If I can get close enough.
Are we all able to see the length of the chain? It's significant? It's long enough that the griffin can actually move around. It's not a couple of feet type thing?
Right. Yeah, they're still another 60, 70 feet up from from you. And over here's the Griffin. So it's by them, but the chain is probably 15, 20 feet long.
Okay, all right. What do you think, Goy?
I have an idea that I could surprise them, but doing so will pretty much initiate the combat.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. Maybe I can get myself into a combat position as well as you surprise them. What's your idea?
I'm pretty sure I can get to them without them seeing me at all.
Ooh.
And get in at least one attack / making their life difficult?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a halfling. I have a great ability to kind of hide and be stealthy too. So if you were to pick a target, I could pick the other person, and then maybe the Griffin can go after the strongest. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I turn into a giant badger, tunnel my way there, and then appear under them, sucking one of them into the ground where I will beat him savagely.
I was thinking you were going to do that too.
/ eat him. I don't know. Do as the giant badger does.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mikek, you feel you can get pretty close, probably, with a stealth check, over to the tent at least, and that'll put you very close to the action when it pops off.
Do you mean Cryon?
Cryon.
I was like, I'm gonna be under the ground.
Yeah, Mikek. No, you should be good.
I'm like, unless they have tremor sense or something.
Yeah.
Let me roll a stealth check.
All right.
Come on, stealth check.
That was a fumble,
Hello.
but then Halfling Luck kicked in.
Halfling Luck. Oh my gosh, you rolled a 1. Halfling Luck kicked in, which made you automatically re-roll it. You rolled a 17.
Boom.
Perception.
That's rad, by the way, that it's automatic. So it's automatically in my character sheet. If I roll a 1, I automatically roll again. I would have forgotten that.
Yeah.
That's 17, so cool.
Yeah, 17 plus 6 then puts you at 23. Yeah, you can pretty much get as close as you want to this.
So before we were setting out,
yeah,
there are 2 guards that look like standard guards.
Yeah.
There is Captain Outrageously German.
Yep.
And there's the Drow, who also looks like he's working with them.
Seemingly, yeah.
Because you had commented like he had a chain. It looks like he's holding the chain, not he is chained.
Right. Yes, 100%.
And Captain I'm an enormous German asshole seems like he's still pretty hurt. Whereas the guards look fresh, but probably not as tough as him. I'll probably say to Cryon, I'll go for the guard on the left. When he falls screaming into the abyss, maybe start hitting people. Or not. I'ma just... Do badgers eat people?
We're gonna find out. All right, you turn into a badger.
Giant badger.
A giant badger. So I'll throw that on here for you. Mikek's a giant badger. Nice. All right. You start tunneling. You get decently deep enough where you don't think they should be able to sense it. You can place yourself then, kind of where you'd like to pop out. Cryon, you could probably get up to like here-ish. On the left side of the tent without anyone with that roll. Kali is going to be a little further back, but she's very carefully making no noise and moving very, very slowly. And All right, McKick, how would you like to begin this?
So giant badgers are medium creatures. So the way I was conceiving of this is I'm probably like started 20, 30 feet underground.
Okay, yeah.
I have gotten to directly under him, and now I have turned up.
Gotcha.
And I'm just sort of now spending the last period of this time burrow speeding my way up.
Gotcha. Then you can, pop out right under him. Is that sort of your play?
I'm trying to pull him straight into the ground.
Pull him straight into the ground.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, give me a grapple check to kind of do that.
Because this other guard is going to be alerted to that behavior, right?
It will. You'll get a chance to rush in as soon as you see that, because they're going to be so surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. Oh, look at all those dice.
19. That's I just rolled my attack because it's strength based.
Sure. With a 19, you're able to. He sort of goes. You hear Cryon, then you hear him go. Wait, what the? And then pulled off of the edge of the log down into the ground itself. And that seems to be your cue. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Cryon is going to tunnel underneath the material of this tent.
Yeah.
And he's going to stand in this corner right here, and he's going to play his ocarina, hoping that one of these two people head into the tent to wonder what all the fuss is about.
Excellent. Yeah, give me a performance check.
So what does performance generally lean towards? What is that? Like
it's how you're actually acting or performing or musical instrument. How you're sort of
how proficient you are with that thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you get into the tent. Someone goes, "Whoa, what the?" and is pulled underground. And as soon as that happens, there's music. Oh,
No,
sorry.
No, it's close.
Did it
sounds
not
like
work?
Sounds like a UPS van.
Try another one.
Yeah, I'll try one more. Hold on. Sometimes it forces me to refresh.
It's not just an ocarina; it's a magical ocarina.
Yes, you are playing your magical ocarina. Did you want any special effect to go off as well with that? I didn't think so, but maybe.
I don't think so at this point. I don't think it necessarily benefits him to have the special effects go off.
All right, here it is. I think.
Pretty ocarina.
Isn't that lovely? I have an ocarina downstairs. I should always have it with me. I'll bring it next time, you guys.
Nice. And fans of Lost might realize that that's a similar sort of tune.
It was a bit more upbeat version of Life and Death from Lost.
It was.
Da, dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, Sam, for making those, by the way.
Thank you, Sam Winning.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So you play that. Your performance roll was excellent. With a 17, immediately everyone's attention draws to you. The guard sort of leaps up and is coming to the front of the tent, throws back the flaps. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm going to spend a key point. I'm going to use. Hang on, let me just scroll through these things. I'm going to use Step of the Wind.
Okay.
I think I'll put it up. Wait. Take a disengaged dash action to. Oh wait. Oh no, I don't need to jump. No, I don't need to do. I don't want to cancel that. Cancel the Step of the Wind.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Flurry of Blows. That was the one I was getting confused with. So
yeah. So that's
this
yeah.
one.
You have your main attack and then Flurry of Blows will give you 2 more attacks. Yep.
So basically, that means as he comes in, without him being able to do anything, I can attack him 3 times. Is that right?
Yeah, if you need it, even. So go ahead and roll one of your attacks, the Marshal Attack, as he comes in. 14 hits. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right. 7 damage. So he steps in and he's much taller than you. He's looking around. You immediately elbow his knee so that he crumbles to the ground. Throw another attack.
Now Flurry of Blowsing now.
Yes, and now
I saw that try to be 14, a nat 20.
14 again will hit. And 5 then, the 5 as he crumples to the ground on his knees, and you just kick him straight in the face. And he immediately goes unconscious, falls backward. You're able to run over him and out if you want. But you don't have to. You could stay there.
And he would still have 1 more attack this turn. Correct,
yeah, you do still have 1 more attack if you want to rush up to this guy.
So does that attack also include the move, or is the move part of the attack?
Right, you can move in between your attacks as a monk, which is between most people can do that.
So he's out. That guy's out. He's done.
He's unconscious. Yeah, you cracked him in the knee and then immediately kicked him in the head. He's already out.
Yeah, I'll rush the. You had said that he was slightly injured. This guy, right?
He did seem that way. Yep.
I'll rush this guy and I'll use my very last attack on him.
All right.
Come on, big attack. Come on.
All right, you come rushing out of the tent just walking over the guy entirely. You come running up, flying through the air, and just try to land a punch straight on him. And he's barely just able to get a shield up just in time. So your punch goes dong off of the shield. And at this point, everyone, there needs to be a fight. So why don't we take a quick break, get our juices either out or in, however you need to do that, and we will come back. We will come back rolling initiative.
Graphic.
Yeah. Keeping it sexy.
All right, have a good break, everyone. We'll be back in just.
See you guys in a second.
All right. Hey, everyone, we're back. Hope you're still with us. Hope you hung in there. Hope you did the appropriate amount of fluids, however you needed. That's all good. So, as we left off, Makek, Kalia, and Cryon were attacking the camp that is in the area where the Griffons were that Kalia was supposed to lead them to. Makek turned into a badger, tunneled underground, brought one of the guards down entirely into the ground, and is about to do some nasty stuff there. Cryon just immediately knocked out a guard and ran to the big bad guy, who was able to just pull up a shield just in time. So now we're going to go ahead and roll initiative proper, as that was the surprise round. And we're going to see where all this is going to fall. So, Cryon, go ahead and click on your icon on the map. And then go over to your character sheet.
Yeah.
And then click initiative.
So as a noob, I'm sorry, I keep going over these things, but I feel like if someone is a noob, they're going to be hopefully asking the same question.
Yeah.
My initiative, is at 4.18. So just break that down for me. What does that mean?
So initiative, the only bonus you ever get to initiative generally comes from your dexterity bonus. So like how quick on your feet, how fast are your reactions. That dexterity bonus, which is 4 for you, goes into that initiative roll. The 1-8 is a tiebreaker. So if someone else rolled the same number you did, if the 0.18 is bigger than theirs, it's
and where did the 1-8 come from? Was that just something that randomly happened at the start of the game?
No, it's your dexterity score.
No, the 0.18 is just Roll20 generates a random modifier. It's a way of doing a shortcut. Technically, in the rules as written, if players tie, I think players get to decide what order they go in. And there's
no, it is the score, because my initiative is 3.16, which is my dex mod point my dex score.
Yeah, I think it's automatically rolled into it. It's not a separate number generator. I think it just takes your dex score and puts it as the 0.18. I think
it does. I hadn't realized that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry to take up the time here.
You're good.
The initiative is directly related to my dexterity ability, which when I look at my character sheet is a 6. Oh no, wait, it's a 4 natural. And then I have an 18 next to it. So
D&D is
that's the one.
Do you want to take it, Andy, or shall I?
Right, yeah. So that's the difference between your actual score, which is 18, and then the bonus you get from that score. So 4 is the added bonus you get whenever you do a dexterous thing, because of your score of 18.
And in D&D 5e, the raw attribute scores, like your dexterity is 18, my wisdom, for example, is 18, don't matter very much. About the only thing that matters is the ability modifier, which for you for dexterity is a 4, for me for wisdom is a 4, for me for dexterity is a -1. Makek is not a dexterous turtle. And so that's mostly where it shows up. There are very, very, very few cases in which the raw attribute score matters.
Tiebreaker initiative being one of those.
Tiebreaker initiative being one of them. The other thing for technically what is initiative, initiative is a skill check that you cannot have proficiency in that goes against your dexterity. That does matter for some other things, because, for example, like bards can make you better at skill checks. Initiative is a skill check. Bardic inspiration applies to a skill check. Guidance applies to an initiative check.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Because it is a skill check.
Yeah.
But mechanically, it's basically you're rolling a d20 and you're adding your dexterity roll. More dexterous characters move faster.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I know we're way outside the game now, but it's just interesting to me. Let me ask you this: if a noob was playing as the dungeon master because everyone else in the game was also a noob, and everyone else in the game had filled out their character sheets in a way that, you know, made sense. And from that point onwards, it was all based on the way that Roll20 made sense of the game. Do you guys all think that it would be relatively easy for a new dungeon master to navigate his way through the game with new players without getting to a point where he says, or he or she says, I have to go consult a manual for 20 minutes to work out what just happened? Because for me at times, I have to admit, without you guys being around, because I went on this walk today with my friends, and I said, thank God I didn't say I'm going to be dungeon master in a game of Dungeons & Dragons a year and a half ago. Because within 20 minutes, someone would have asked me a question, and I would have said, hang on, let me consult the player's handbook, and I would have been in there for 45 minutes. Do you think that Roll20 allows noobs to play like straight out of the box?
Yes. I think it's a lot easier. The problem sort of comes when you just it's so front loaded that you kind of need someone who knows what they're doing to set up the character sheets. But then as soon as you have that kind of set, a lot of this is pretty easy from that point.
Right.
I might actually say
a lot of the heavy lifting.
I might actually though I would say if you had like all newbies at the table, right? Dungeon Master never DM'd before.
Everyone.
All the players were sort of
players.
new, and so you were DMing just because, you know, a group of friends wanted to play and no one had really played Dungeons and Dragons before.
Which must happen quite a lot.
Oh yeah,
right?
it does.
Oh, definitely. That's how we.
I would honestly probably more recommend just using something like Discord for a voice or a video call, and just agreeing not to like lie about your dice rolls, because the main thing that Roll20 does is it cuts down on the mental math. It cuts down on, initiative is roll a d20, 17 plus my dex mod, add those together. And it does add an entire layer of Roll20 is itself kind of a skill and a knowledge base to learn. Whereas I would say using something like there's a couple of beginner sets that have really streamlined characters. They have kind of explanations. So instead of spending 45 minutes looking through a giant book, it's a this thing. And starting very much from one of the tips that I always give newer players is if I'm DMing, tell me what you want to do. I'll tell you what to roll, or if it's possible. So that you don't need to know, I'm trying to make an acrobatics check. Say to me, I want to, much like you did, and like we've been doing, like, I want to try to get outside on the outside of the carriage. Okay, right. Give us an acrobatics roll. And all you need to really know is roll a d20, and then you would just be like, look for acrobatics, what's your modifier? Do the mental math.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and if the mental math part is that roadblock for a lot of players, which honestly a lot of players that I've come across, that's kind of the thing, they just the sheer vertigo of numbers that are involved can be kind of daunting. Roll20 can cut down on that a little bit, so that's not too bad. But again, I totally agree with Galway.
I know a lot of people that want to play Dungeons and Dragons and they're not really sure how to. And obviously I say, well, you need a dungeon master and you need a group of players. And they say, well, I have 6 people that want to play. They're all noobs. And at that point, it becomes this strange stumbling block where they assume that the dungeon master needs to have played 4 or 5 campaigns beforehand. So if you guys think that the Discord situation or the Roll20 situation allows a fledgling dungeon master to, usher people into the game and make mistakes at the same time and not completely blow up the whole situation, it's intimidating. I mean, I know we're supposed to be playing the game right now, but
this is good too.
It's intimidating. It's an intimidating game. It is the ultimate role-playing game, and people look at that box or they hear about people's campaigns and what they've done, and they're like, how did you do that? Well, how does that even work? And when you explain that it involves a multitude of dice and different choices that you make, it becomes very overwhelming. What I love about, obviously, what you guys have set up for me as a noob, and the whole Myriad construct is you roll the dice and it does it all for you. I would hope that what we're doing right now is empowering a lot of noobs to say, okay, maybe I don't fully know what I'm doing, but I really like the idea of Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to make mistakes, but at the very least, my mistakes won't completely explode the game. We might find ourselves like trying to work it out between us, but we're still going to have fun, you know. The worst thing is, I think, being a dungeon master and getting to a point where you go, I don't know. Give me 45 minutes and I'll get back to you. That just ruins the game for everyone, you know.
Well, we've got people in the Twitch chat kind of giving their feedback on this too. Like TB Tabby says, I'm DMing for the first time with 4 new players.
Yay!
And Roll20 is super helpful. She also recommends the site D&D Beyond. That's like has some tools that could be used. Rachel,
that's an official Dungeons and Dragons thing, right? D&D Beyond.
Yeah. Rachel writes, the rules can be learned as you go. It's totally okay to not be totally correct.
Yeah.
She's the one who kind of plays D&D with kids, DMs with kids.
I was going to say, and she'll be doing a segment on that next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday night.
On how to set up, which would also be, and it's worth noting, and I'll point this out as such, it would also be a really great guide to just playing with new players if you're also new. Of like, strip down some of the rules, strip out some of the complexity. This is a game. Everyone just needs to agree on it.
Yeah. Use Roll20 for maps, easy access to handouts, and some other things. But then our players use D&D Beyond and roll actual dice. So yeah, there are all kinds of ways to do it. I've only ever played D&D online using Roll20. So for me, it's been interesting. Like the challenge for me, actually, coming from relying on Roll20 doing the math and doing that mental math and adding like proficiency and stuff, is like it actually took me a while to then retroactively learn what a proficiency bonus was, because I never had to deal with it. Roll20 did it. And so for me, like weeks and weeks and months into playing, I was like, wait, what's a proficiency bonus? Like what are skills? What are modifiers? So for me, it's that's kind of an interesting angle on it. But
Lena, you had talked about that some when we were talking on Goat's Eye View yesterday, that when you started playing, you were in Pathfinder, which was really complicated for character creation, so you only used computer-generated character creators, and then you started playing 5e, and that was the first time it was ever like, make paper sheet.
Yeah, and 5e is a stripped down kind of version of past versions anyway. If you're ever wanting to get into D&D, 5th edition is the one to do, I think.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Like in Galway, you and I started playing basically right before 5th edition came out. And so we learned the system together as DM and player. And we kind of had fun bouncing. And you probably see this now. Like either Galway will have a question and we're both like, oh yeah, I wonder how that works. And like we're still kind of learning the game.
I have the 4th edition handbook, which when Andy, when you and I started chatting, you were like, excuse me, you were like, okay, well, we're playing off the 5th edition now. And I was like, okay, I'll get a hold of it. What was so streamlined about the 5th edition that turned it into something that was so playable?
That's good. It really sort of broke it into simpler categories, I think, for me. For example, when you want to do something like trying to persuade someone or trying to fool someone or try to lie to someone, you sort of know that fits into one of these 6 ability categories, like charisma. It's definitely not intelligence or dexterity or strength. It definitely is more of a charisma thing. And so you just know instinctually that charisma is the thing to roll. And then add up the bonus that it says on charisma, and here you go. There's your roll. You don't necessarily have to go into absolutely every single permutation of a choice to find your particular bonus in that necessarily. You already kind of have these guidelines to go through. And once you know the very sort of top level of that, you can easily find the minutia of that.
And it's also really nicely stripped down, I would say, for the character creation. And this is from my perspective as having read a lot of different systems, as well as having thought about game design for those. Character creation in D&D 5e, in the player's handbook, they have like a 2-page walkthrough. First, do this. Second, do this. Third, do this. And you could get into an entire thing of, is that really optimized? Are you going to be the best in the world? But no, you're going to have a legal, functional character that you can go play a game with. And suboptimal characters are really, really fun. A system that I dearly, dearly love the flavor of, Shadowrun, which is cyberpunk. How to make your character is, I believe, literally 72 steps. With basically intense math, intense specializations, and it's like, oh, you upped your intelligence, which means these 3 scores went up, and then these other things need to change as well, right. Versus, oh, I'm a super intelligent character, that's fun. What do I want to be good at? I love magic, so Arcana. I'm kind of a grifter, I live on the edge of society, so I'm probably pretty good at deception, and I'm good at not being seen, so I'm stealthy. Great, there's your character, that's fine. Is that deeply optimized? No, Christ no. I might have picked a very bad race for it, but it doesn't matter, you've got a character, you can go play now. You know?
Right.
Versus you literally will have to go through those 72 steps in Shadowrun before you have a damn character. That's the reason I've never run Shadowrun. As much as I would love to, I love the feel. I basically just did a modified D&D 5e to get a cyberpunk feel in one of our campaigns.
Do you guys feel like culturally, because of where we're at in terms of gaming, where you can play games for free? I mean, I play League of Legends on my computer. It's free to download, it's free to play. You can do the same with Dota, you can do the same with Fortnite. If you have a PlayStation, there are hundreds of free games that you can play. Do you guys feel culturally that the people at Dungeons and Dragons, one of the foremost, arguably the most foremost role-playing game around, the thing that kicks it all off, they've had to kind of get with the times, and they were like, okay guys, we're playing against stiff competition right now. Let's try and streamline our game to make it as easy as possible, as accessible as possible, as opposed to this intimidating thing where a lot of people want to play, but they just don't know how. Do you think that they've made some changes because of the society that we're in right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Wizards of the Coast specifically has been very good about minimizing that barrier to the game as best as they absolutely can. It's still kind of an overwhelming, complex, scary game that involves a very scary thing of role play and talking to people as other characters, which is already kind of a scary thing. But they've been really, really, really trying to minimize that barrier, and releasing stuff like D&D Beyond, which has really streamlined the process. And
Neverwinter, I've been playing Neverwinter for the past couple of weeks. That's the Dungeons and Dragons game that is free to play on PlayStation 4, and I think maybe on Xbox it's free. You can do whatever you want. It really has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's a way to, kind of ingratiate yourself into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry, guys, I'm taking up so much time talking about this.
It's good. It's great.
The major stumbling block for me, and the reason why I wanted to play with you guys, is because I knew that as a noob, I could get ushered into a very, I don't want to say very, a slightly intimidating construct of a game.
Sure.
I play some relatively sophisticated games. Divinity Original Sin is relatively sophisticated. FIFA has a lot of sophistications to it. What else do I play that's sophisticated? Like Uncharted has some things where you have to work out some stuff, but the way that it's introduced to you as a player is much more inviting. The thing that Dungeons and Dragons has done historically, and maybe not now, is created a gravitas to the game. This hugeness, this like, wow, You're in a new world. You're in a new stratosphere. You've suddenly found yourself in a fantasy realm. And I think a lot of people are quite intimidated by that. And that's what I've been so impressed about, to be honest, about Roll20, is Roll20 kind of says, if you've got everything set up, all you need to do is roll the die and we'll make it all happen for you, you know? And it's you guys. I mean, I honestly, like, I said to my friends today, I mean, I'm so happy that I didn't try and pretend I could be a dungeon master when I couldn't. I mean, Andy, the fact that you navigate us all through it, and I know that you guys could probably be able to do the same thing for me too. It's been one of the great things about this isolation period for me. I wanted to learn new skills. I wanted to learn new things. And the fact that now, when someone asks me about Dungeons and Dragons, I can say, oh yeah, I played it when we went through this whole Corona thing. And you know what? It's kind of easy. All you should do is, you know, download Roll20. And if you want, I can talk you through a character sheet and how to create it. It's been a really great opportunity for me to learn how to navigate in what is a completely new world, you know? So
yeah.
Thank you. And sorry for taking up 25 minutes of time when we're supposed to be flying around in Griffons and stuff.
I was gonna say, quite honestly, also, these conversations are really awesome, and at some point we could have you on another segment where it's just talking about these types of things.
Yeah, for sure. Where were we?
I was just eating this dude.
Initiative.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll initiative. Here we go.
Nice.
So fun. Oh, 17.18.
All right, 17. Very good. All right, folks. All right. That means Cryon, you've got the jump on everyone. He was barely able to put his shield up in time. Please, you get to go first.
Okay, so he's so close to me. I'm gonna continue to try and make a mess of this guy. How many key points do I have left? I have 3 now, right? I have a total of 4. So is that right? I have 3 now.
Yes. Yep, you used 1 on the flurry of blows.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna do. I can repeat my abilities, right? I can do flurry of blows again, right?
Yeah, you just smack him around as much as you want.
Why wouldn't I do that? 3 attacks and he can't do anything. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna roll a Marshal Attack again.
A 24 hits.
Oh yeah, it hits.
Yeah, this is interesting. All right, Cryon.
Oh, nice.
As you came down, he put up his shield. He blocked that. You're able to then bounce off the shield just a little bit, reset yourself, and immediately kick him in the back. He stumbles forward into the fire itself.
Oh.
He then starts to scream and yell. But in the flames, Cryon, you see something dark and big start to kind of emerge from the body of that person.
Oh, what?
Not too far away from you then, stepping out of the fire to its full height, is a creature that you saw in when you saved the elk the other night. Large, massive teeth, giant, massive furry paws. The thing that looks at you and you still have 2 more attacks if you'd like.
Punch!
Hey.
And that guy I'm just setting aside.
Wow. Okay. I have 2 more attacks, you said, so I could attack and then back off and would be okay, right?
Right, yeah, and your flurry of blows, whenever you do that, you can use any of your open hand techniques as well.
Oh wait, so where's the open hand section? Is there a section for that?
Yeah, below flurry of blows, probably. If you hit with one of them, yeah. So these next two, if you hit with one of these.
So, okay, all right. So I'm gonna do a martial attack in my flurry of blows. Let's see.
Sounds
Crit.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh yeah, hello.
That's a crit.
Crit. Oh.
In our game, all right. It's still really good. He comes out of the fire and you just don't miss a beat. You immediately just uppercut this guy straight up. You hear his jaw crack under the massive furry face in front of you, doing 9 damage.
And you can do open hand technique.
And yeah, and you hit him, so you can do one of your open hand techniques if you'd like.
So the open hand technique I saw down here says, it doesn't say anything. It just says open hand technique and then class. I mean, that's not a huge amount of information.
Yeah. So when you rolled it, you can do the try to knock him prone. You can push him up to 15 feet away, or you can make it so he can't react against you, which means you could bounce out of combat from him and he can't swing at you.
Must succeed. Okay, I'm gonna try the first one. You must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, or
Yep,
be knocked prone. Ooh.
Yeah, so you might knock him prone here.
Okay, so dexterity saving throw. Here we go. Oh, did I roll the right one?
Oh no, he had to roll. He had to roll, not you.
Oh, he.
And I don't think he made it, did he?
He rolled a 12. That's not going to make it. He needs a 13.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you this thing, Andy. So as a dungeon master, you never reveal what it needs to be to win a fight or a skirmish. That's how it works as a dungeon master, right?
Right. You would know that because your character has a very specific, what's called a save DC that you hit. Magic users and monks would have this. Yours is set at 13 on your character sheet. It's weird. I don't even know where on a monk it would say where it is.
It would still show up on the spell sheet.
Okay.
It's just a very empty spell sheet except for that.
It doesn't even. It's weird.
It's very empty.
It's incredibly empty. But it's 8 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency bonus, which is 13 for you. So you would know that, but if you're doing that against another creature, you don't necessarily know theirs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you knock him prone. You punch him up the uppercut, and he immediately loses his footing and slides onto his side, still in the fire technically.
And you have advantage on your next attack.
And then you have advantage on your next attack.
I have one more martial attack to do, right?
Yeah. Yep. So hit that with advantage. 19. That hits. Yeah. So 9 more damage. All right. So
it automatically rolled advantage for me. Is that right?
I clicked it over for you real quick on your sheet. At the top where you say advantage, normal, and disadvantage, you can just toggle these. I just did it real quick for you.
Okay.
But now you can do it.
So
now you know where it is.
Obviously, normally it is at normal, but based on what's going on in a situation, your whole character sheet can sway towards advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, and basically what it does is it rolls 2d20, and then you take the better of those two. And then disadvantage is you roll 2d20 and take the worst one.
Oh, right. That's so cool.
That's a really nice little ingenious way to
I love that.
Shift the flow of stuff. All right. Yeah, you uppercut him. He fell sideways, and then you just came back down with your elbow right on his jaw, and he's... You also notice that the fire is sort of licking up around him, but not seeming to hurt him, which is interesting.
Interesting.
Would you like
interesting bad?
Yeah. And would you like to move back, or would you like to stay in?
Yeah. Yes, I'll move back. Hang on.
Well, probably.
Let me look at the map.
He'll get a.
He could also
you
could impose another open hand technique, or try to.
Yes, you could. Yeah, you hit with that one too. Which means, you probably hit and then stun him just enough so he can't take reactions. Which means he won't bite at you when you leave his space.
So at this point, how much can I move back?
You moved 5'10" to get there. You still have 30 more feet of movement, if you want.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to move. Can I just move back behind this griffin here, 20 feet?
Yes. As you move here, the griffin looks over at you and like starts to like bite at the air. You don't think Kali has gotten to the griffin yet.
Okay.
It might be just really on edge. Would you like to stay there? Okay.
I'll just be stealthy. He's spry, right? He's spry.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to try to sneak around the griffin, or
sure.
go the other
Why
way?
not?
Okay.
No, I'll sneak.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. Oh my gosh. That's a good hit.
Kidding me.
A total of 26. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you rush over there. The griffin rears back like it's going to try to bite you. As that happens, you dive back into the flaps of the tent. The griffin starts biting at the tent and is just coming up with fabric. You've weaseled your way to the ground, and you hear above you this massive creature snapping its giant beak, and you wiggle out the backside of the tent, completely unscathed.
Yes, you guys.
You also then see Kalia kind of running up from the bushes to talk to the griffin as well. All right, Makek, your turn.
So how far down are this guard and I?
You've pulled him just below the surface.
Okay. So as a giant badger, I have multi-attack.
Yeah.
Bite and claws. And I just want to ask you, could I do my bite attack as biting, and then my claw attack is sort of trying to maintain that grapple and then pull him deeper?
Oh, fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Do I have advantage because he's trapped under the dirt with a badger?
Yes, I'm going to give you advantage for that.
I'd like to say that as this guard is sitting there now looking at this giant badger, he's just going to see... by the way, thank you to JStep1 in the chat for Badger Facts, which reveals that normal badgers do eat small mammals. I'm a giant badger. I figure I eat medium mammals.
I love it. Badger Facts.
18. The nat 20 was a click over,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So 4 piercing damage.
Yep. All right.
And then the claws to sort of maintain the grapple.
Okay.
16.
16. Let me give him just a chance here. Yeah, you pull him. Yeah, he's struggling to try to claw
He is now
back up.
10 feet beneath the ground.
Nice. You just drag him slowly down. Yeah. That's amazing. All right. The drow runs over to the griffin, kind of wraps the chain around its neck to get a little bit more control, and leaps up on top of its back and is trying to like hold it. And
Griffin, don't take that shit. Eat him.
Yeah. Well, let's see how we do. I'm gonna give him a roll. It's a 6. He rolled a 6. He seems unable to control this creature at the moment. The griffin starts bucking him a little bit. He's barely hanging on because he's got that chain around it, but he's not able to do much else this round with it. All right. Cryon, you though do hear a creature immediately dive into the tent itself and starts like rummaging around, and it's definitely searching for you. You're not sure that it knows where you are. It sort of last saw you go into the tent.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
Can I?
It's gonna be plus 4 or whatever that is. 22.
Oh, that's not good.
So you hear this thing rush into the tent, and then popping up from the other side of the tent, you just see this massive face curl up from underneath one of the flaps, and it looks at you, and it bites.
Like, doesn't connect, it just snaps at the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. Let's see.
Oh, goodness.
A 14. It opens its jaws and like tries to bite down at you. You're just barely able to shove its massive head further into the ground a little bit, and barely able to move back from this. Its teeth look giant and sharp, though. That is it for now. It is found you. You think?
Is it me? It's my go?
It is your go.
So you're saying that Cryon and the guard are having very similar experiences at this?
Sadly, yeah. Yeah, you believe it found you again.
So what I would like to do, what Cryon would like to do, is try as hard as he can to kick away or undig. Is that a word? Undig?
Undig. Undig.
Excavate?
Excavate.
Dig out. Excavate.
Yeah.
Dig out. Excavate the tent poles. Certainly in the direct region that he's in. So the tent pole here.
Yeah.
And the tent pole here.
Yeah.
Just collapsing the tent, basically.
Yeah, you kick out one of the stakes easily. You sort of move. You think he's going to get a bite at you as you're doing this? Are you cool with that? Unless you do some key point stuff?
I'll take my chances.
Okay. So, as you're doing that, he's gonna go ahead and bite at you.
Oh dear!
Oh dear!
No. It's a flash wound. It's a flash wound.
Hits for 18 damage.
Good lord!
Flash wound.
I'm happy. I'm happy you took that short rest. As you're reaching for that last peg to collapse the tent, he latches on to like your entire leg, which is now in its mouth, and he pulls you back a second. Why don't you give me a dart attack if you want to try to then throw a knife to cut that last cord?
I'll throw a knife. Come on, Dart! Come on, Dart!
Oh, Dart.
Oh,
Got to be kidding
And
me.
he just collapses.
Oh my gosh. That is
A crit hit.
amazing. What is happening?
Max damage too.
Yeah.
Yes, max damage. You know what's going on Wednesday nights here.
Interesting. All right. Interesting. Here's what I'm gonna say happens. He latches on, pulls your leg back. You fall straight onto the ground and are being dragged back from it. As you do that, you pull out one of your darts. Immediately turn around, stab real quick him into the jaw, and then throw the dart, cutting the last cord of this side of the tent. As you stabbed him, he let go of your leg. You sort of stumble back as the tent collapses on him entirely. He's now sort of thrashing around underneath the tent, making horrible sounds, which I won't do right now.
Do it now.
And like that.
Thank you.
But you think that he's blinded by you. If you want to move, he probably won't attack.
Okay.
And you also have one attack left still.
So in this situation, and in all of these situations, you never know how much energy the opponent has, right? It's not part of the game. You can't.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're pretty keen on the metagame part of it, you don't really know. Yeah. He doesn't look extremely hurt yet. That's all you can tell.
Let me just have a look at the map here. He's in the tent. Is that right, Andy? He's in the tent,
and it's collapsed on him entirely. Yeah.
Oh, the entire tent is collapsed on him entirely.
Yeah. This whole side of the tent. Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, what Cryon is going to do is, Cryon is going to jump on top of the tent.
Okay.
And try and drive a dart down into this creature's spine stroke back.
Yeah.
So what would that be? Is that a dart throw? Is that
It'll be a martial attack again. You're just using the dart instead of your fist.
Okay, come on, Marshal.
11. Yeah, you're barely able to get through the fabric of this thing, and you feel like you're hitting it, but it's just not actually wounding the creature. So right now you're just kind of riding on top of this tent as it's bucking underneath you.
Okay.
Yeah,
like an angry horse.
Yeah.
Is that the end of my go? Or I have one more.
You have movement still if you want, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get off of this crazy thing. So I'm gonna. Where am I? Oh, I'm over here. So I'm gonna move to kind of this little section, like just off the side of the tent.
Solid, yeah.
Oh, I was so excited to jump on top of it and stab it through the tent line.
Yeah, it's just a little too heavy to get through. Yeah. You see Kalia then reach her hand out toward the griffin, and she starts. And then she looks around and sees this giant tent bucking in front of her and steps the fuck back. You do see then the griffin kind of calm down just a little bit as it was trying to sort of release itself from the drow. It no longer seems like it's doing that, though you're not exactly sure what effect that might have. Mikek.
So this poor son bitch is bleeding 10 feet under the ground.
Yes, he is, yeah.
Okay, and I've got him grappled.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that the giant badger is going to sort of... And I'm assuming, a shit ton of noise and creepy demon man. Like, I do not think he is outrageously German at this point. No. The badger is going to sort of reach out and pat the guard on the cheek. I'm going to release the grapple and climb 10 feet, get to the surface.
Okay.
On the surface, I'm going to use a bonus action to release badger form.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to go, I hope you know I'm terribly sorry about this. I'm going to mold earth to push 5 feet of earth down into a capstone over the hole.
You just buried this guy alive. As the dirt you just see his hand kind of as the dirt just closes in around it.
What are like the deep rules for suffocating?
He's got a few rounds.
He's got a few rounds, but also the only real way he has to go is back up to me.
Yep.
And it's 5 feet of packed dirt. 5 cubic feet at that.
Yeah. You then turn around. You see a griffin kind of, with a drow with a chain around its neck, trying to, get it to behave. You see an entire tent leaping up into the air, and Cryon kind of a distance away, sort of smiling and backing up a little bit.
I'm gonna sort of look at this. Mm-hmm. Okay. This all checks out.
Also, Cryon is bleeding profusely from a giant gash in his leg.
Notes for later.
Notes for later.
I think I'm just gonna hold there because that was my bonus action and my action, and I still have some movement left, but no, thank you. I'm good.
Gotcha. All right. The Griffin leaps up into the air, spreads its wings, and shoots straight up into the air.
Yes, Griffin chokeslam all the way to hell.
You almost lose him now as he's going straight up very, very, very fast. This does not seem like the intended effect the Drow had in mind.
I feel like the title for this episode needs to be Animals in Their Natural Habitat. Between the badger and the griffin.
Right, yeah. All right. All right. This creature starts to and you see him stop, kind of leaping and bucking, trying to get this thing off. You now see immediately smoke rising from the tent, as then the tent just sort of begins to fall away in clumps, part of it on fire. This thing just burned its own body to the point where it burned the tent around it. It's now on the ground, and this thing, flame sort of leaping off of its fur, is now kind of looking between you, Mikek, and you, Cryon. And then it rushes at you, Cryon. It's going to try to make a claw attack as it reaches then back. You see that its jaw, actually, though, now seems really loose, like he's kind of having a hard time biting it. And that's where you did stab it a second ago. Cryon, as the creature rushes toward you, slashes up into you, you fall to the ground unconscious.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping I get a really cool scar after this.
Yeah, right. So this is technically a slightly new phase of the game that you've never experienced, Dom. This is if your character goes an entire round again, and then it comes back to your turn in the initiative, you're going to start rolling what's called death saving throws, which means you'll need to start rolling a d20 and get like a 10 or better. And then if you get that, you succeed. And if you get lower than that, you fail. If you fail
because he's in danger now, because
you're bleeding out, essentially. Yeah.
Right.
Because you are now in the process sort of dying, and that's all you are doing because you're unconscious.
Tom's face.
Yeah, right. This is a little scary.
I was having so much fun playing this.
You do have a healer here. You do have some rolls that you're gonna make, so you're far from gone or anything. But it's a scary moment, certainly.
And you have nice insurance against a fumble on a death saving throw, which counts as 2 failures. I don't know if I was looking something up.
Yeah.
3 failures, you're dead. 3 successes, you're stable. Fumbles are 2 failures.
Oh, goodness.
And a crit, the success is you automatically will get up with 1 hit point.
Yeah, it's great. It's even better. It is disproportionately better, to be fair.
And does a halfling get to re-roll death saving fails?
It's still a 1 on a d20.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so just don't roll 2 in a row. Yeah, you should be all right.
So I roll my saving throw now.
Right. So the creature is now looking around. It kind of sees Kalia cowering in the back here, and it does see this new flower-crowned turtle emerge. It is now going to kind of make its way toward you, Mikek. Not entirely, but in that direction. All right, Cryon, here is your first death saving throw. So on your sheet,
I'm just going to hit the death saves.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, pray for me.
No.
All right, that's our first miss.
Oh,
so if you get 2 more of those, that's really, really bad. All right.
2 more. It's the end of the podcast. It's okay, guys. We had a good run. We had a great run. We enjoyed ourselves. I think we've all learned a lot. Okay, here we go. Number 2.
Oh no, not yet. You only have to make 1 a turn.
Yeah, only 1 per round. Yeah, that probably eases your worry a little bit.
Ignore that.
You're good.
Ignore the actual
16.
Yeah. If I was nice, I would count that toward the next one.
But
no, don't count it.
Mikek, your turn.
Balm of the Summer Court for 1 on Cryon. So again, light will sort of gleam from McKeck's flower crowns. Or crown. Cryon, you now have 5 hit points. He also has 1 temp HP, Andy.
Okay.
You are awake and stable. And
Bless you, McKay.
a sort of long, almost veil flower crown of tropical flowers is going down your hair.
Oh.
Lovely stuff.
Cryon, you're on the ground still. You awake and you just kind of push yourself up just a tiny bit. You see the wound even just closing a bit. And you look over and you get the glow of the flower crown, and McKeck is kind of concentrating on you for a second. McKeck, still your turn, though.
You're all assholes. I hope you know that. I'll cast Earth Tremor.
Oh,
It
interesting.
should not be a DC 10. I don't know why it's done that.
Yep.
DC 14.
All right.
This is one of those things where, again, roll 20 is like, nah, I'm going to ignore whatever your spellcasting DC is.
Okay, it rolled 10.
Get on the ground.
So the ground itself begins to shake underneath this thing. Large pieces of rock kind of jut up, and it falls prone to the ground.
And 6 bludgeoning damage.
6 bludgeoning. By the way, Adam, Elif, you guys are awesome hanging in there. I promise we're going to have a lot of Elif and Connie time eventually. Just hang in there.
This is an amazing show. I would be watching this on Twitch anyway if I wasn't playing.
Solid. All right. Sounds good. All right.
Then I'm just going to sort of go, about the Griffin? Would be nice. How you
Sounds
doing,
good.
Cryon?
All right. The creature stables itself underneath the craggy rocks underneath it. It stands kind of up to its full height. As it does that, McKeck, you get an opportunity.
Hit it. 18.
Yeah, you come down,
Nice.
slam onto this thing, cutting into it with your not shillelagh.
Not shillelagh. I didn't have it up beforehand, so to be fair,
All good?
it's
Yeah.
club.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, you bash into it and it just raises its head.
I do have my shield on though.
It's you see its jaw also just kind of waggling. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be biting you too much at all.
Might I recommend Tumbledown's Flower Crown's dentistry services?
When you say that, it claws at you,
Fuck you then.
missing you, just slamming into your
Yes.
shield in the tortoise shell. It's just trying to wrench into it, and it is not getting through at all. All right, Cryon, your turn.
Okay, so where are we at? This thing is on top of me. Is that what's happening?
Not anymore. No, it moved over to McKeck, and so now McKeck is fighting it kind of one-on-one.
Healer, tank. McKeck does
You're back.
I was completely unconscious not that long ago. I'm now completely conscious. I'm okay.
Yes, you're okay. You can stand up. You're the giant gashes in your chest have just immediately closed. You see a big pool of blood underneath you, but you're not currently.
To be fair,
bleeding
you
out.
don't feel great, but
Yeah,
you're
you
very
feel
conscious and in full possession of your faculties.
Yeah. You can stand up if you want.
How many key points do I have left? 2?
You have 2. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do my flurry of blows again, which is just such
all right.
a nasty move.
Yeah, you rush up behind it. Your first one then is just a normal martial attack. Flanking. We'll say.
Flanking.
Technically, on a large creature there. Yeah. So you move right behind it.
7.
A 14.
But
yeah, you
he has
slam
advantage.
into this. Oh, advantage. Yeah. Roll
Just
that
like-
again then. Sorry.
Oh, wait, roll it again?
Yeah, because you're going to have advantage because McKeck is exactly opposite of you. So we're flanking.
Oh, okay. So that means I get to
16?
choose the best out of the 2.
Yeah, so we'll take the 16, though the 16 doesn't quite hit. As
Oh.
you slam into it, it turns around and stares at you. You didn't quite do any damage, but you have 2 more attacks if you'd like.
And you know what, Cryon actually feels much more emboldened when the thing that he is fighting looks directly in his eyes. It's kind of, it makes it feel kind of powerful. So I feel like...
So you have advantage on these next two, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So click that advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah. 25.
I didn't click advantage. Where?
You're okay. Roll again.
Oh.
Because you could get a crit.
Better than
especially
a 25,
the way you've been rolling.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right.
You never know.
No, so the 25 hit for 8 damage. You can also do one of your open hand techniques.
Yes, I will do
Knock
one
it
of my
down,
open hand techniques.
Push it or stun it so it doesn't have reactions.
Hang on. Let me see. I will. I mean, is there any advantage, Galway, to pushing it away 15 feet?
Not really, especially because that would slam it through me. There's probably an advantage, especially because you're having Flurry of Blows, so you get 2 chances. There is an advantage to it being prone. It means it has to stand up, which gives us a chance to hit it when it does that, like I did on my turn. And there's an advantage to it not reacting. I would probably say generally apply prone first and then try to shut down the reactions. But
okay, I'm gonna go with the expert here. I'm gonna go for the prone one.
All right.
So I just roll Marshal Attack again.
He rolls against you.
Oh, saucy.
But a 14 barely does. He's able you kick out his feet from underneath him, but he rears back and is able to hold on. So you did 8 damage to him, but he's still up for the moment.
And you do still have advantage on this next attack. So.
And you still have advantage on this one. So click that advantage toggle. And then,
do you see that, Dom?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna click this, right?
Yeah.
I did it, and now I click Marshal Attack. You did it for me the last time, Andy. Right?
I did, yeah. 23. Yeah, 23 then hits as well. 5.
So
do you want to try to trip him?
Does that advantage give me an extra die? What does that do?
Yeah, it rolls 2d20 and then takes the best of the 2. So you rolled the 18 and the 23, and so we'll take the 23 as the attack.
We'll take the 23, and then what was the other thing you were saying there?
Oh, I was saying you still can use your open hand technique if you want to try to knock him down again.
Yeah, let's try and knock him down one more time. So one more Marshal Attack, is that right? Oh, that's from you, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
he fumbled.
He rolled, and he fumbled. He rolled a 1. He absolutely then you hit him trying to knock him down. You kick out one of his feet, but he stabilizes himself and then turns, and then just as he's about to like bite straight into you again, you just step to the side, whack straight into the side of his neck again, where you hit, where you stabbed him earlier. His jaw just goes loose, and he stumbles and falls to the ground. He looks really hurt at this point.
Nice.
And at this, you over here, Makek and Cryon, you hear a there's a splattered drow that just landed very hard into the ground next to you guys. He must have been dropped or flung from a very, very high point. And you hear a above you somewhere as well.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, Makek, your turn. He's really hurt. He's prone.
Shillelagh.
Gotcha.
Was it a griffin that dropped the dwarf in Fates of Rin of the episode The Falling Dwarf?
I think it was.
I think it was too.
I think it was, yeah. Because I think we had it was a pack of griffins, but I don't remember. So yeah, I'm gonna cast Shillelagh, and once again, instead of the sort of smooth turtle shell pattern, this is just an eruption of flowers, which is what Shillelagh looks like when Makek is really pissed.
Gotcha.
23.
Very nice.
For 8 bludgeoning.
All right. Okay. You slam into him. He's really hurt and bleeding all over the place. Just a black, viscous blood.
And I'm not moving or anything. I'm assuming that the dwarf, or not the dwarf, the drow is more liquid than solid at this point, so I'm not really worried about him. Okay.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
All right, the creature starts to begin to stand up very slowly, trying to get to its feet. You both get an opportunity attack then.
I didn't say you could stand up.
So both Cryon and Makek roll with advantage.
21.
A normal attack. 21 will hit for 7 damage. Oof, a 15 then does not quite hit. It's groggy and it's trying its best. It's looking around. It doesn't know what to do. It's going to try to bolt away from you. It doesn't get extremely far. Cryon, your turn. You could chase it down.
Okay.
You're that fast. Or you could throw a dart or do something else.
I am going to take a burning piece of wood from the campfire and throw it at my
yeah.
I don't know what is the name of that beast?
Outrageously German
you've
demon
never
dog.
Seen anything like it, but some sort of demonish creature, yeah. So you rush over to the campfire.
I'm going to run as fast as I can. Grab a big piece of, like a log that, even if it wasn't on fire, would, if it hit someone in the back, would probably knock them out. But it's also on fire. I'm going to try and throw that at the
Absolutely.
guy.
Yeah, give me a dart attack then with that.
Oh, it's a dart, so that kind of behaves like a dart.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Of course. That's
What? Honestly,
it's either the start or the end of the game.
I don't know how that's working. That's a crit hit. For everyone listening, a 26 total. That's certainly enough damage. Dom, why don't you paint a picture, please? How do you kill this beast?
Oh, it's like a beautiful firework. This thing just like flies through the air in a very high arc as this thing is getting away, and actually looks over his shoulder and thinks, I'm okay here. I've gained enough distance that I'm not in any danger. Does not see this high arcing fireball on its way towards it as Cryon just kind of stands there thinking, I just threw the perfect shot. It hits it right at the nape of its neck, throws it to the ground, and as this thing tries to understand what happens, it sets on fire both sides of its shoulder blades and causes mass havoc as this thing is gyrating all over the ground. A perfect fight.
Right. Yeah, it's roaring in sort of mid the thralls of death itself. Then in its roar topples to the ground. The fire very quickly, scarily quickly almost, burns up the body. It immediately becomes ash. Kalia steps out from one of the trees. She immediately runs to you, Makek, and looks at your wounds to see if you're hurt too badly.
I'm actually not hurt from this fight. I'm just hurt from before.
So she's immediately dusting some of the dirt pulls a few clumps of mud off of your shell. And then she rushes over to you, Cryon, and you're just kind of standing there, like breathing heavily. The large, even though the wound healed from the claw attack, your clothing is entirely ripped up your up your chest, and she immediately is looking at it and puts her hand on your chest and then kind of looks at you in the eyes for a moment, and there's a connection, and she's just about to say something as you hear and swooping down from the sky are 2 griffins that proudly land next to you. She immediately stands up then and starts to and whisper to them, and they bow low to her and to each of you.
I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh, right. I'm gonna cast Mold Earth again and move the capstone off.
Okay.
How you doing down there?
You hear, fuck you.
I assure you that is not the tone you want to take with the only person who's going to be getting you out of there.
Sorry.
Better.
Please.
Now you're not going to do anything shifty that will require me to take you further underground if I let you out of there, are you?
No. I'm
And you'll answer questions before I have to get the fire ants.
Yes, God, fire ants.
Yeah, just look. Not red ants. Literally ants on fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
But like they want to be on fire,
They
right?
want to be. They
you
like it.
set
They
ants
enjoy
on
this.
fire.
It's like their thing.
Okay,
They enjoy this.
good.
It's kind of like
yeah.
a friend of mine who you're going to meet and will also try to set you on fire if you pull any shit. So come on up, but think about your life and how long you want it to be.
Connie and Elif, you step into a basement, lifted up by a very, very large wooden door. Rose steps down with you, shuts the door over your head. You step down a few stone steps, probably about 20 feet underground. And you come into a larger room of circular circumference. You see some what looks to be kind of makeshift like scaffolding, like someone was trying to put up a statue of some sort. And in fact, you see a very large stone statue toppled over in this room as well. And you both recognize it as one of the Goholnian gods of war called Borir. And then you sort of look around and you notice that there are far too many spider webs in here.
Motherfucker, Andy.
In fact, there are far too big of spider
Well, who's
webs.
scared of spiders? Who's scared of spiders?
I'm terrified of them.
I think everybody
Come
is.
on.
I'm scared.
This
I
is why I
respect
came.
them.
This is why I came into your
Get it.
life, Lena.
I love it.
This is why I came into your life.
I like that he
Stop
skipped
you from
that
being
all
scared
of us
spiders.
put our hands up except for him.
Well,
He's just like
whoever's
folks on
the
the world
most
like,
scared of spiders.
no.
I keep spiders in my house. I work with spiders. I have spiders in my house. I can
You
help
discovered
people
one.
be scared of spiders.
And I
Yeah, I have a
respect
spider.
that, and I don't
I have a
kill them when
spider
they're
in
in
my
my house, but they're terrified.
I can get you to a point where instead of the spider taking all of the power away from you, you can be in a position of power with the spider where you can say, okay, you're a scary animal, but I'm in a position of control, as opposed to, oh my God, you took all my power. Now I'm not in a position of control. You don't want to be in that place. I can help you do that thing.
I
It's a
don't want to be in that
completely
place.
different
But Connie and
But
Elif,
sometimes.
sadly, Connie and Elif, we're going to deal with spiders next time. Because that concludes
Sadly.
tonight's episode of Dom and Dragons. And if you enjoyed this, let us know. Give us a follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube at Helpful Goat Gaming, on Twitter and Facebook at Helpful Goat. You can listen to the podcast Goats and Dragons, where this is being released. And damn, I'm having so much fun with it. You guys are so great. Thanks so much for listening. If you type in ! Donate, that'll give you a link to our coffee page if you want to buy us a coffee. If you want us to, help make sure Dom has some recording equipment and stuff or something like that.
No, I don't need
all
it.
good.
Don't. Thank you. That's very sweet.
We're good. You can also type ! Discord if you want to join the Discord and just chat with us. And yeah.
And listen to the podcast even if you've been tuning in for stream, we'd love to subscribe to Goats and Dragons.
Sure.
And if you're enjoying Dom and Dragons, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Podcast Addict.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you guys are listening to Dom and Dragons, go search around on Helpful Goat. Those guys do a whole ton of stuff. This is just a tiny branch of what they do, and they do it really well. So if you're in any way enjoying Dom and Dragons, and it's brought you here because Dom and Dragons, you have a duty to yourself to go check out the rest of the stuff that these guys do, because they do it really well.
Aw.
That's sweet. Thanks.
Guys.
Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Galway, do we have any more additions to the family tonight?
That's an interesting term to use.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very lovey tonight.
Catfling, thank you for the 200 bits, 100 bits on a couple different occasions. That's your name. Thank you for the Prime sub. Samwise the Pooh and Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting tier 1 subs. Hey Carls and Melee Den. Hope you enjoy those. And yeah, thank you everyone else who followed over the course of the evening. We appreciate it so much.
All right. Yeah, we love you all. Stay safe. Hang in there. And from all of us on Dom and Dragons, we wish you an excellent evening. Good night.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Bye.